Supervisor Vasquez, if you can accept the promotion, that'd be good. We had Supervisor Begay, but it looks like we lost her. So let me try to contact her.
She's back.
All right, we've got Supervisor Begay on. Let me contact Supervisor Fowler.
Say, Geronimo, is that Mountain Lion meeting still going tomorrow?
From what I understand, they're gonna expedite it and just do the key business and make it a 30-minute meeting, and everything that they can table till August, they will do so.
Okay, good, thanks. So I'm planning to be on that too. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, all, this is Armando. Just as a heads up, Casey Dorman will be presenting the assessor's report today. I'm here to answer any questions, but Casey will be the lead on this.
Okay, Supervisor Fowler is here.
Yes, Madam Chair, I'm here. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks for I kept putting in the wrong password.
I've
So-
had problems today with my computer too. I don't know what it is, so, but it's a good day to fight a fire. That's all I can say. So it looks like we have a county manager, we have all the supervisors with us except for Matt Ryan, who we know is winging his way on a much deserved summer vacation. And do we have all the staff we need for us today?
Yes, we do, Madam Chair. We're ready to go.
Thank you. And good afternoon, everyone. And this is our regular meeting for Tuesday, June 14th, 2022. We did change the day or the time I'm sorry, it looks like it's a special session because we did change the time of our regular meeting. And that is because we will be having a community meeting with regards to the pipeline fire this evening. And so with that, I am going to go ahead and turn this over to our county, our wonderful county clerk, Lindsay Daly, and ask her to take roll call.
Thank you, Chair Horseman. Chair Horseman, District 1.
Present.
Supervisor Vasquez, District 2.
Present.
Supervisor Judy Begay, District 4. Oh, you're on mute.
I'm here and present.
Thank you. And Supervisor Fowler, District 5.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Thank you. And as the chair said, Supervisor Ryan, District 3 is absent. Thank you.
Very good. All right, so members of the board, now is the time for the Pledge of Allegiance. And so those that can, please stand. And I know that our Lindsay's going to put up the flag and the Pledge of Allegiance. So please join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. So as I said, this is an abbreviated meeting for us because we will have a community meeting on our two fires that are facing our county. And so we are going to go forward with this meeting. And we have at this time the call to the public. Members of the public, now is the time. If you would like to address us on matters, that Board of Supervisors on matters that are not on the agenda, now would be your time to do so. And once again, our clerk is going to let you know how you can be promoted to a panelist and be able to address issues that you may have for us this afternoon. I would remind you that you have a 3-minute limit and of course, be professional in your comments. So with that, I'm going to turn this over to the clerk to explain to the public how you can join us.
Thank you, Chair Horseman. At this time, if there's anybody in the meeting that would like to do a comment during the public comment portion of the meeting, you can raise your hand. If you hover at the bottom of your screen, a hand should appear and it says raise hand. So if you click on that, that will notify us that you would like to speak. If you've joined the meeting via telephone, you can hit *9 and that will raise your hand and notify us that you would like to speak. So again, hit the raise hand icon at the bottom of your screen if you would like to speak at this time.
Do we have any members of the public that would like to address us this afternoon?
At this time, there are no hands raised.
Members of the public, one more time, this is a call to the public. This is an opportunity for you, members of the public, to be able to provide comments and input to the Board of Supervisors. So one more time, would you like to join us? Please go ahead and raise your hand or call in to be promoted to panelist.
And there are still no hands raised, Chair Horseman.
Thank you very much, Clerk Daly. With that, we're going to move forward on our agenda. And now is a time for us to consider a proclamation. This is a consideration and possible action to approve a proclamation designated June 20th to the 24th, 2022 as Cultural Diversity Week in Coconino County. And although we hope every day is Cultural Diversity Day here in Coconino County, and we strive very hard for cultural diversity and inclusion, but this is a special proclamation. And with that, I believe, County Manager, you'd like me to turn this over to Erica Philpott,
Yes.
our Human Resources Director.
Yes, if you would, please, Madam Chair.
Very good. And so Erica, please join us this afternoon.
Good afternoon, Chair Horseman, members of the board. We are very pleased to bring forward this proclamation for your consideration, designating June 20th through 24th as Cultural Diversity Week. The county has a long history of recognizing cultural diversity and celebrating cultural diversity months, and this month in particular. And we are very excited because not only will there be outstanding educational opportunities, but we are excited because this year we are excited to bring back Diversity Day on the courthouse lawn. We have not been able to do that for the past couple of years because of COVID and the pandemic, but we are excited to be able to gather together on the courthouse lawn on Wednesday, June 22nd from 11 to 1. And following the proclamation, I will read you some events and the committee members, but I am pleased to introduce Angel Abeda from HR, who will be reading the proclamation today. Angel? Oh, Angel looks frozen.
Yes, I noticed that. Angel, I'm not sure. What you might want to do is turn off your camera in hopes that your a microphone will remain on and you can read the proclamation. But if you can't, you may need to go out and come back in. And if that doesn't work, I'm asking Lindsay Daly to take over because she knows how to do things.
So this is Carol. Hi, everyone. I do also have a recording of Angel doing a proclamation also, which I'm sharing. Just in case she had any problems, she did pre-record it. So I have it here to play if I can get the approval to do so.
Thanks, Carolyn. I think Lindsay, this is your, I think Lindsay needs to come up and help us.
Yes. Thank you, Carolyn. At this time, you can go ahead and hit play. You'll just want to keep your microphone so that it's not muted so that everybody can hear it.
Okay, thank you.
Loloma, Guazi, Hopa, Tawash, Lomatafki, Chair, Vice Chair, members of the board, County Manager Peru, Nebonya Hongsi Yan Hopi Matsiwa, It Bahangting ni Angelica Abeda, Ne Sangong Pang Angsino, Ne Uma Wangwa. I am pleased to read the following proclamation designating June 20th to June 24th, 2022 as Coconino County Cultural Diversity Week. Whereas Coconino County honors all residents made up of various diasporas that weaves a rich tapestry defining our character for generations to come. And whereas Coconino County collaborates with the African Diaspora Advisory Council, Hispanic Advisory Council, Indigenous Peoples Advisory Council, and many community partners who promote awareness and understanding through celebrations and educational activities. Whereas Coconino County embraces the allyship and fosters an inclusive and equitable work environment where each employee may feel heard, seen, valued, and safe. And whereas Coconino County is committed to an organization with limitless possibilities, which has been nurtured and advanced by people of all races, ethnicities, religion, national origin, heritage, ages, gender identity, sexual orientation, physical and mental circumstances, veteran status, learning style, social status, socioeconomic status, worldwide view, learning style, socioeconomic status, worldview, culture, traditions, exceptionalities, region, and intersectionality. And whereas Coconino County embraces Diversity Day on Wednesday, June 22nd, delivering a profound impact through community outreach, celebration, togetherness, engagement, and cultural collaboration, and encourages individuals to use their unique experiences and backgrounds to voice ideas and advance a culture of inclusion in our county. And whereas in 2017, the Coconino County Board of Supervisors acted to unequivocally condemn any propaganda, hate-motivated crimes, advocacy of racial supremacy, religious, sexual orientation, or cultural discrimination through Resolution 2017-50. And whereas Coconino County continues to seek new and creative ways in achieving a vision for individuals to feel a deep sense of belonging, purpose, and value, while fulfilling the responsibility of healthcare, public service, law, education, engineering, construction, caregiving, public safety, forestry, and countless other industries. And now, therefore, be it resolved, we hereby proclaim June 20th to June 24th, 2022, Coconino County Cultural Diversity Week, as we join together to learn more about our diverse and varied history and reflect upon the values of diversity, equity, and inclusion. Askweli, Tawae, thank you.
Very good. Thank you very much. That was excellent. And we're really glad that you were able to appear via video for that reading of a wonderful proclamation. So important for us here in Coconino County. With that, I'm going to turn it over to my board members and see if any of them have comments to make or if they would like to present a motion.
Sure, I'd just like to thank the staff for presenting this proclamation. As was stated before, we should be celebrating our diversity in our county every day, but it's always good to specify certain days to celebrate different things and celebrate the different diversity in our community, because there are so many different types of diversity. And part of what diversity and inclusion is about is recognizing all that different diversity and including everybody in the conversations and in the celebrations. And so really grateful to be able to have this proclamation said today so that we can recognize all the diversity in our county and make that statement. Thank you.
Very good. Any other members of the board like to make a comment on Diversity Week? Supervisor
thank you.
Fowler.
Yes, Madam Chair. Thank you so much and really appreciate our staff bringing this in and the video that was presented here. It's really, really nice. And diversity has become, we need to make sure that it just doesn't become a word to say or, it really has to come from the heart and it's got to be incorporated in all of the organizations. And we like to have our whole county really recognize that, and not just within the county organizations, but elsewhere within our towns and businesses, and just the recognition of that. I think it's really important. We're very rich in our diversity, even in our land geography. So I think that makes us a really great county. So thank you so much. And it needs to be emphasized throughout the country as well. So thank you.
Very good. Thank you, Supervisor Fowler. And you're absolutely correct. Diversity and inclusion needs to be a commitment all across this country and by every branch and every individual here across the country. Other comments from other board members? And if not,
Madam Chair.
so sorry, Supervisor Begay.
Not to reiterate what my colleagues have already said, but I think we all need to have this sense of belonging and purpose and value in all aspects of our daily lives. And it's so important that we practice that across, wherever we go, whatever we do, and then also being a role model in that aspect. So that's what I would like to say. With that being said, I'd like to go ahead and make a motion that we approve the proclamation designating June 20th to 24th, 2022 as Cultural Diversity Week.
Thank you for that motion, Supervisor Begay. And we have a second from Vice Chair Vasquez. All those in favor of the proclamation designating June 20th to the 24th as Cultural Diversity Week here in Coconino County, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
It is unanimous. June 20th to the 21st is in fact Cultural Diversity Week. And I would very much like to thank Erica and also Angel for your wonderful presentation and the reading of the proclamation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chair Horseman. May I read the members of the committee who have planned the cultural diversity events?
Absolutely. And why don't you give us the information too? And I apologize for that. You can see it has been a hectic day today. And I'm still kind of in 5 different meetings. So I apologize, Erica, please. And let us know what's going to take place here at the courthouse or at the courthouse lawn.
Excellent. Thank you, Chair Horseman. The members of the Diversity Day Planning Committee include Alicia Henry, Mary Cedillo, Audra Travelby, Renee Herrera, Angel Veda, Bretta Sekawamtua, Christine Newell, Carol Kidd, Lauren Bednar, Janice Bradley, Tara Clifton, Rima Hatab, Shampoyama, Corey Ringenberg, Krista Cedillo, Tim Schultz, and Candace Smith. And in addition to the day on the courthouse lawn, there are events, virtual events planned all week, lunch and learns in different times so that people can attend multiple events throughout the week. So on Monday, June 20th, we'll be having an Indigenous identity presentation from Sharon Doctor, who's been such a longtime partner and of our diversity events and is on the IPAC. Also, we have a diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility conversation focusing on accessibility on Monday. On Tuesday, we have the story of Angel Delgadillo and the history of Route 66. And Mr. Delgadillo is related to our own Marty Delgadillo. And so that will be a really nice family connection to that. Mr. Delgadillo is called the guardian angel of the Mother Road. So that's a really fun connection for us there. On Thursday, we're going to have a workshop entitled Diversity Statements 101. Why should I write one? So a personal diversity statement. That will be very exciting. And then also a presentation on Thursday addressing generational gaps in the workplace. And on Friday, we'll have a Peace Corps conversation with our own Tom Hanachek, Tara Boykin, and Brandon Sepulveda, who have all served in the Peace Corps. So some highlights of the week. There are other events as well. And then Wednesday on the courthouse lawn from 11 to 1, there will be food trucks and booths with community members, lots of educational opportunities. I hope to see everyone out for our first gathering on the courthouse lawn in quite some time for some fellowship and just connection to each other, and very excited for the food trucks. So food and friends and education. It's a great way to spend a Wednesday afternoon.
Very good. Thank you very much, Erica. Anything else that, because I don't want to cut you off. This is important. So
That's everything. Thank you, Chair Horseman.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. So with that, members of the board, we are moving on, and we are now at our agenda for the consent agenda. And members of the public, the consent agenda are a number of items that we can take as one motion and one action. These items that are listed under the consent agenda are fairly routine or administrative in nature. And that is why we take them as one motion and one action. But before we do that, we ask members of the board if there are any items that you'd like to remove from the consent agenda to be taken individually so that we can discuss these items and we will then vote on these items individually. Are there any items to remove? And I will tell you, I'm going to ask to remove items 6 and 7 to vote on these individually. Any other items on the consent agenda that should be removed for individual action? Hearing none. At this time, members of the board, I would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda for items number 2 through item number 26, removing items 6 and 7. Do I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I move that we approve the consent agenda as you read and removing 6 and 7 from the vote. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Fowler. Do I have a second? I have a second for Vice Chair Vasquez. All those in favor of approving the consent agenda with the exclusion of 6 and 7, please signify by saying aye. Aye. It is unanimous. So members of the board, we have approved our consent agenda. And at this time, we will go to item number 6, consideration and possible action to approve a budget adjustment for FY22 in the amount of $1,000 from District 1 Community Initiative Fund, the Coconino County Public Affairs Fund, for expenses related to free movie events for the public, where the county will have a table with information about county services. And if I may, I take the board prerogative of just indicating to members of the public and also to my colleagues that what this is a contribution with the county manager's office, who has in the past, the county has taken a sponsorship role with the Flagstaff Downtown Business Alliance summer events. And these events, especially the Movies on the Square, really bring in people from all over Coconino County and, quite frankly, a lot of visitors. And it's a good opportunity for the county to be out with the community and to, quite frankly, talk about the county and what the county does. It's amazing. And I know many of us here on the Board of Supervisors are sometimes surprised when we go out in and talk with members of the community that there are questions about what does the county do? What is the role of the Board of Supervisors? And these type of events, besides being wonderful family affairs and a wonderful opportunity for our community to gather together during the summer, it's a time for the county to be out and talk about what we do as a county and to provide information that is near and dear to our hearts, such as emergency notifications. And I know Supervisor Vasquez, you've been out working very hard on that, and to talk about the importance of maintaining fire safe space in your homes and things that we certainly are seeing the importance of spreading that information out. So with that, I just wanted to pull it because I wanted to give a plug. The downtown events are in fact happening. The Movies on the Square are Saturday evening and starting early in the evening. And we will have our county table out, and certainly members of the board, obviously we can't have a quorum there, but you are welcome to join us at our county table. And we just need to let Lindsay and Steve know when we're going to be there, so we don't have a quorum at that table. But it's just a great way to meet members of the public. We usually have a game there for the kids to stop by and get a piece of candy or get a little toy or a treat for playing the game and stopping by the table. So nice event. Summer has begun, and I know we're all anxious to take part in these summer events. So any questions or comments from other members of the board? Then
I'd just like to say I appreciate the Board of Supervisors making this move, because we definitely need that support to publicize with the community a lot of the information that we need to distribute right now. especially around the fire issues and the flooding potential for the summer, but also just in general, so people understand what the Board of Supervisors does, because sometimes it's unclear for the community. So I think this is crucial to get the word out so people get that information directly from the county. So thank you.
Thank you, Vice Chair Vasquez. And at this point, unless there are other comments, seeing none, I would entertain a motion to approve item number 6, to approve a budget adjustment in the amount of $1,000 from District 1 CI funds to the Coconino County Public Affairs Fund for expenses related to free movie events for the public with the Flagstaff Downtown Business Alliance. So is there a motion?
So move.
Thank you, Supervisor Begay. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Vice Chair Vasquez. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 And it is unanimous. So thank you all. And with that, we'll move to item number 7 that we removed from the consent agenda. And this is consideration and action to approve a funding agreement with Housing Solutions of Northern Arizona, Inc., providing District 1 Community Initiative funds in the amount of $3,500, District 2 Community Initiative funds in the amount of $2,000, District 3 Community Initiative funds in the amount of $3,000, and District 4 in Community Initiative funds in the amount of $1,500, for a total of $10,000 to Housing Solutions of Northern Arizona, Inc., for replacements of heating units in their Sharon Manor facility, which provides transitional housing services to households experiencing homelessness with a history of domestic violence. And we do have with us a special guest, Devonna McLaughlin from Housing Solutions of Northern Arizona. Certainly she is one of the my true heroes here in Coconino County for all that she does here for our community. And before we take a motion and vote on this, I'd like Devonna to come on up and to, hi Devonna, good to see you this afternoon, and just talk to us a little bit about what they're doing and how our funds will be utilized to assist Sharon Manor. So Devonna.
Thank you so much, Chair Horseman, for the support and the opportunity to talk with y'all about Sharon Manor. As most of you know, Sharon Manor is a transitional housing facility serving households experiencing homelessness with a history of domestic violence. It started in 1999 with the first 8 units, and we were able to expand in 2001 to add 16 apartments. Those are the apartments that will benefit from your generous grant to help upgrade heating systems that are 20 plus years old and starting to fail, quite frankly. So it'll be amazing to have the opportunity to upgrade, replace heating systems to make them more energy efficient. We're looking at trying to make sure that they're electrified, following the City of Flagstaff sustainability goals for electrification as well, given the configuration of the buildings. So it's a really exciting opportunity to add that heating system upgrade over there. We appreciate that support. A couple of years ago, right in the thick of COVID, actually, we also expanded Sharon Manor. So we had an opportunity to take the original 8-unit building and add a second story to that property, adding 5 additional apartments. So 4 2-bedroom units and 1 1-bedroom unit. So now we have a capacity to serve up to 29, I almost got it wrong, 29 households at Sharon Manor, helping them transition from homelessness, from abuse, providing a stable housing environment. Rent is based on household income. There's wraparound support services and case management help to help families transition from homelessness into self-sufficiency and permanent housing. So folks can stay with us for up to 2 years. We work really hard even before they move in on where they're going to move out to, because it takes a little bit of a village and time to get folks into stable housing, especially with our housing costs in Flagstaff. So truly a life-changing program for residents who've experienced homelessness and abuse. And we see on a daily basis that Sharon Manor changes lives. I recognize that, you know, but for grace and luck and whatever, you know, any one of us could suffer from abuse and could suffer from neglect and could experience homelessness, and the trauma that our residents have experienced and the leaps and bounds that they make while they live with us is truly amazing. We have wonderful single parents, for the most part, at Sharon Manor, who are working really hard to build stable futures for their children, and a support system and a foundation of healthy home life. So thank you for making it possible for us to continue to provide safe, decent, and affordable housing to this specific population at Sharon Manor. And thank you for all that you do to support affordable housing efforts in our community, because it's such a dramatic need. So I appreciate all that you do. I'm happy to shut up or answer questions at your discretion. So.
Well, Devonna, we really appreciate everything you do and Housing Solutions in Northern Arizona and your staff and your commitment to some of our most vulnerable residents here in Coconino County. So thank you so much. And with that, any questions, members of the board, or comments from members of the board?
Sure. I'd just like to say thank you for all your hard work in the community. When I worked at Killup, we every so often had children that lived in Sharon Manor, and so I got to see the work that you do up close and personal and how valuable it is for those families. So thank you, and I'm glad we were able to contribute to your need moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you.
Supervisor Fowler.
Yeah, thank you for always working with the county and trying to, you're not just working on the housing, but you're also working with whole families, a systemic issue. So I just want to thank you for that. Thanks.
All right, with that, at this point, I would entertain a motion. And by the way, I want to thank my colleagues for their contribution for this and for their support of this CI initiative. I really appreciate that. So with that, I would entertain a motion to approve the funding agreement with Housing Solutions of Northern Arizona as set forth in our agenda, and setting forth the various districts and the amount from the various districts for Housing Solutions of Northern Arizona.
I motion that we approve the number 6, the funding of a total of $10,000.
Seven.
Sorry,
Seven.
7,000, excuse me. For Housing Solutions for Sharon Manor for the project renovations that are needed.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Do I have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the contributions from districts' community initiative funds to Housing Solutions of Northern Arizona in a total amount of $10,000 to be used for replacement of heating units in their Sharon Manor facility. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. It is unanimous. So Devonna, thank you for being with us here this afternoon. We know we changed the time with you at the last minute. We appreciate your time with us today.
And I know you guys are super busy, so I so appreciate you guys, getting this agenda item passed. And want to give you just a quick update, if I could. We also bought a hotel, the Travel Lodge on East Route 66. I just got bids today for construction work, super excited. So I'm really hoping that early spring, late winter next year, we'll invite you out to see those 44 studio apartments that will provide transitional housing to additional households experiencing homelessness. So Sharon Manor is important and critical for us and for the community, but we're working on other things, and we will certainly keep you posted.
Thank you, and congratulations, and thank you for all the help that you give, as I say, some of our most vulnerable residents. So appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, so members of the board, we're going to move on. We have even more consent agenda items, but before we get there, we need to resolve as the Jail District Board of Directors. Do I have a motion?
I motion that we resolve as the Jail District Board of Directors.
We have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Supervisor Fowler. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
It is unanimous. We now sit as the Jail District Board of Directors. Members of the public, we are now on our agenda for the Jail District Consent Agenda. Much like the consent agenda we just looked at, these are usually administrative or routine in nature They can be considered under one motion and one action by the board. Members of the board, however, do you have any items that you would like to remove from the jail district consent agenda for individual discussion? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion to approve the jail district consent agenda items 27 to 34. Do I have a motion? Supervisor Fowler.
I move that we approve the jail district consent agenda. Thank you.
I second the motion.
A second from Supervisor Judy Begay. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor of approving the consent agenda for the jail district, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
It is again unanimous. So thank you very much. We now need to entertain a motion to return and to resolve as the Board of Supervisors. Do I have a motion?
So move.
I have a motion by Supervisor Fowler. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Vice Chair Vasquez. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Once again, it's unanimous. We are now the Board of Supervisors. We have an action item under here, and this is consideration and possible action to approve resolution 2022-33, declaring a local emergency due to the pipeline and haywire fires. I'm going to turn this over to our County Manager, Stephen Peru.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. The board is asked to consider the resolution that the chair has identified. This is in response to the pipeline and the haywire fires that have begun on this past Sunday. The declaration is the first step in responding to the emergency from a financial standpoint. Again, at this time, the local emergency is being declared by this resolution. The resolution is similar resolution has also been adopted by the City of Flagstaff yesterday afternoon. And again, what this ends up doing is it provides the beginning of what will probably end up being a declaration or request to the state of Arizona, to the governor's office, with regard to additional funding that would be made available through the state at this point in time. So again, Madam Chair, this is the first step in the declaration process with regard to what is beginning to look like a sizable event for Coconino County and residents that are being impacted by the fires, by both the pipeline and the haywire fires at this time. So Madam Chair, staff does recommend that the board adopt this resolution as presented.
Very good. Members, you've heard the county manager's explanation of this resolution and the importance of declaring our local emergency here under Coconino County for issues and emergencies that have arisen with regards to the pipeline and haywire fires. Are any comments or questions of the county manager?
Just want to say thank you to all the staff that have been working on this within the county, and then also our partners. It's been a trying couple days, but the team has worked well together. Fortunately, we have lots of experience at this, but we really appreciate all your hard work and efforts. And I would like to propose that we approve resolution 2022-33, declaring a local emergency due to pipeline and haywood fires.
Thank you, Vice Chair Vasquez. Do I have a second? Do I have a second declaring a local?
Second.
Supervisor Begay, thank you. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It is unanimous. And I know Supervisor made a comment and made the motion, but I want to give an opportunity for members of the board, if any of them would like to also be heard or make a comment with regards to this. Supervisor Fowler.
Yes, thank you. You know, that these processes must take place and we need to put our footprints in place in order for us to be able to meet a threshold where we be able to get reimbursement and get additional assistance. So I want to thank our board and All those that are working on these fires, just want to thank them and recognize them again. And so I think this resolution is very important. So thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Fowler. Any other comments? If not, we have our motion, our second, and it passed unanimously. And I see that, I believe that Robert Trotter is up. Hi, Robert. And I think that's on another issue. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's the next issue, Madam Chair. But if I may make one comment before we leave the declaration. So this evening at 6 p.m., we are holding a community meeting. We're intending for those that have been evacuated to be able to attend. It's going to be held at Sinawa Middle School at 6 p.m. However, we are also doing a virtual broadcast of that meeting. And I'd put in the chat to everybody that it's going to be broadcast live on the county Facebook page. And so we will ask the public to join the community meeting at 6 p.m. Again, it'll be held in person. We would ask for those individuals that are in evacuation status at this time to consider attending. And then again, for those that can join virtually, you can see the link here. Again, it'll be at 6 p.m. And we do invite the members of the public to attend. We'll be giving an update from the incident management team. We'll be giving an update on the response to the wildfires of the pipeline, as well as the haywire fires. And then also we'll be giving an evacuation status update by the Sheriff's Department. And then of course, comments from each of the board members relative to the county response as well. And so we'll also be providing information to evacuees. So Health and Human Services will be providing information to individuals that are evacuated this time. So again, we invite the public to this important event. This will be probably the first of many community meetings to take place over the next few weeks, just given the timing of the fires and then preparation for monsoon season. So again, thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, and thank you for that update. Members of the public, we do invite you to appear either virtually and for those that have been most affected by the fire and been evacuated and have other concerns, certainly we welcome you to come either virtually or in person. So we look forward to seeing you at 6 o'clock. And I believe we'll have the full board with us for this community meeting. So thank you. And thank you for that update, County Manager. So at this point, I believe we are going into a public hearing. We are on item 35. This is a public hearing consideration and possible action regarding the proposed West Coconino Fire District, Fire Rescue District. I am going to have the clerk of the board, Lindsay Daly, to introduce this item and then explain what this is about and what the process is for this public hearing. So Lindsay.
Thank you, Chair Horseman and Supervisors. Mr. Trotter is here today for our hearing. He submitted his impact statement on April 5th, 2021 for the proposed West Coconino Fire Rescue District, which the boundary is located in Supervisor District 3 off Highway 64. And Mr. Trotter does currently is the chief for the nonprofit High Country Fire and Rescue, which is not a district, but is a nonprofit organization. The Board of Supervisors did have a public hearing on May 11th, 2021, if you recall, and it was regarding the proposed district. And the board did find that the creation of the district would promote public health, comfort, convenience, necessity, or welfare. And the board approved of the district impact statement, which authorized the circulation of petitions for the creation of the district via resolution 2021-18. My office then did send Mr. Trotter a letter of determination as required by statute, which set the clock for Mr. Trotter to circulate his petitions and submit them within the 1-year period from the date the board approved of the circulation of petitions, which the deadline would be May 11th, 2022. And per statute, the petitions must be signed by owners of more than 1/2 of the taxable property units in the area of the proposed district and be signed by persons owning collectively more than 1/2 of the assessed valuation of the property in the area of the proposed district. The proposed district included a total of 515 parcels, and the total net assessed valuation for those properties was $2,949,484. Mr. Trotter did submit his petitions collected, and he submitted them May 10th, 2022, which was within the 1-year time frame. And the petitions were provided to the assessor's office for review as outlined in statute. We do have Deputy County Attorney Mark Burns here, and he can explain the specific statutory requirements outlined as to what can be counted in regards to the petition submitted. And we also have Deputy Assessor Casey Dorman here, and she did a review of the petitions and can explain her findings upon the review of the petitions.
Thank you very much. Casey, could you please proceed?
Certainly. Good afternoon, Madam Chair and board members of the board. The assessor's findings are as follows. Of the 515 units associated with the proposal of the West Coconino Fire and Rescue District, 404 unique owners were identified. And that's referring to actual owners that own more than one property. So the ownership can only be counted once. So we did identify 404 unique owners, and 110 signatures were validated, resulting in a collection of 27.2% of owners in favor of the district. Of those 110 property owners collectively own property totaling $1,014,395 in assessed value, or 34.4% of the initial assessed value of $2,949,484.
Very good. And so at this time, I think what you're saying is that we do not have the signatures necessary. Is that correct?
That is correct. Both criteria set forth did not meet the minimum requirements for a district creation.
Very good. So the statutory requirements have not been met for the creation of this. Very good. Any questions of Casey Dorman that other members of the board may have? With that, I'm going to turn this over to Robert Trotter. It's good to see you. And I've seen you earlier. It seems like you're all over here today. So it's good to see you. And thank you for all you're doing for our community and for what's going on here in our time of crisis. So thank you. And I'd like you to just kind of address what is going on and, what is your intent with regards to moving this forward.
Well, thank you, Madam Chair Horstman and the supervisors. Casey and Lindsay, thanks for all your help too. Basically, we kind of failed due to the demographics of the area. The vacant lots outnumber structured homeowners out here. Out of 375 petitions that were mailed out of the area, out of state and out of country homeowners, we only received 7 of them back. About 90% of the people that we did knock on the door signed the petition. Like I said, it was just too many vacant lots out of area homeowners that cut us short. In the meantime, I've been working with the Woods Fire District. I've met with them several times. They're interested in contracting us with fire protection here shortly. And we are also discussing expanding their district up into our area and forming a district that way, which would be a little bit easier to do. So that's probably the update and comments that I have. I appreciate everybody's time, Madam Chair and the supervisors, for your time and consideration. Sorry we didn't get the district done, but I'm not giving up yet.
All right. Well, we appreciate your tenacity on this, and I know you gave it your all to try to get this done. And I'm sure you're very disappointed it didn't make it past the statutory finish line.
Correct.
And with that, but members of the public, even though it has not met the statutory requirements, we do need to open this for a public hearing because that is what the statute does require. So at this time, we are going to open the public hearing, and I'm going to turn this over to Lindsay Daly to have her explain and the instructions on how public comments can be received. So Lindsay.
Thank you, Chair Horstman. At this time, if you would like to provide a comment during this public hearing for item 35, which is regarding the proposed West Coconino Fire Rescue District, you can raise your hand by hovering at the bottom of your screen and clicking on the raise hand button that looks like a hand, and that will raise your hand and notify us that you would like to speak. If you've joined the meeting via telephone, you can hit *9 on your telephone, and that will raise your hand and notify us that you would like to speak. At this time, we do not have any hands raised.
All right, we're going to have our final call, members of the public. This is in fact a public hearing that we have on our agenda item for proposed West Coconino Fire Rescue District. One more time, if you would like to be heard on this, please be heard, and we'll promote you to panelists so you can address the board.
Chair Horstman, we have no hands raised at this time.
Thank you. At this point then, I am going to close the public hearing. I'm going to open this to the governing board for other comments or findings of the governing board with regards to the possible action regarding the proposed West Coconino Fire Rescue District. Members of the board.
Yeah, I have a question. I know there wasn't enough percentage to form the district. How close was it to reaching that threshold? In terms of percentage of community?
It's quite a bit, and I apologize if you're not directing your question at me, but I think I can help answer the question. It was quite a bit off. Again, we only reached 27% with the minimum signature requirement, and then 34% for the valuation, the assessed value.
Okay, and what's the threshold that's needed to?
It's 51. It has to be slightly over half, so 51.
51. Okay. Well, it's unfortunate that you weren't able to get the district as desired. Hopefully, we can find some partnerships to make sure that area gets the proper fire coverage. As we've seen with fires on the east side, you know, it's really important that we have that support to protect structures in that urban forest interface. So thank you for trying, and hopefully we can find a way to help support your efforts. Thank you.
Very good. Any other comments from members of the board? Yes, Supervisor Fowler.
Yes, thank you. And I just want to thank you and your team again, just for the vision that you have for the community, and just that foremost of making sure that the protection is there. That's a huge community undertaking to be able to provide that education and hope that they understand. So thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate it.
All right. Any other comments, members of the board? The members of the board, I'm going to just for the record, make it clear for the record that we have in fact heard from the deputy assessor. We have heard from our deputy county attorney, and we have actually heard from the petitioner himself. And we have been informed that it has not met the statutory requirements and does not contain the required petitions as necessary to form, to be able to form this district. So with that, I am going to entertain a motion that we deny the proposed West Coconino Fire Rescue District. Do I have a motion to deny the Coconino Fire Rescue District for failure to meet the statutory requirements? I will make that motion. And do I have a second?
I'll second it.
A second from Vice Chair. Do I have any other comments before we take the vote? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
I believe it is, anybody disagree with the motion? Say nay. It is unanimous. The motion, unfortunately, in fact, was to deny the proposed West Coconino Fire Rescue District. Mr. Trotter, we really appreciate you being with us here this afternoon. We may see you a little later. And again, thank you very much for your efforts on this. And we know you'll be back before us soon. So thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chairman.
All right, so members of the board. We are back together on I'm trying to get where we are. We are back to a update, discussion, and possible direction regarding the pipeline and haywire fires in the greater Flagstaff area, including updates from the different agencies involved regarding fire conditions and evacuation status.
And Madam Chair, with the committee meeting starting at 6 p.m., we'd like to ask the chair to dispense with this item and direct individuals interested in the information being presented to tune into the Facebook event that the county is going to be broadcasting at 6 p.m. this evening.
Very good, County Manager. And yes, I see we're getting a little late into the evening. But I do, before we do that, I do want to, it is scheduled on here. Is everybody on the board in agreement with that? Or does any board member have any questions, concerns, or comments? Hearing none, and given the county manager's recommendation, at this time, members of the board, I am going to adjourn this special meeting and give us all time that we can go forward on the meeting with go ahead, give me the information again, County Manager.
Yes, we're at 6 p.m. at Sonoma Middle School on East Butler Avenue. It starts at 6 p.m. Members of the public are asked to park at the rear, and there will be sandwich boards that direct individuals to the rear of the building and enter that on that side. And so again, information similar to what we presented this afternoon with the joint city county briefing will be presented at 6 p.m.
Now I'm confused. Because I've been to the middle school and I know there are two entrances, one that you go up Mount Everest to get to the back room, and one that through the front, which is a little shorter version up Mount Everest. So my question is where
either entrance, both will be open. The one on the upper backside is a preferred route for individuals for ADA accessibility.
Very good.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, I will see you all in an hour over at the middle school. So thank you very much, members of the public and members of the board. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.
We're adjourned. You know what? It finally came through. Nothing was coming here.